Hello guys, welcome back to Beyond the Realms, and today I'm going to be reviewing the latest Blu-ray release that just came out today, entitled Looper. This film was a sleeper hit. It kind of, came out and, there was a little buzz about it, but it really caught on once it was released, and, word of mouth really made it take off, and it became a very big success. And after watching the film, I can see why, because I'd heard a lot of stuff about this from trusted opinions, a lot of good friends, and I'd really heard nothing but great things about this. And after watching it, I can understand why now. But for those of you that aren't familiar with the story, I'll give you a little rundown here. It starts in the year 2044. Joseph Gordon-Levitt plays a guy named Joe, who is a looper. Basically, in the year 2074, time travel becomes possible, and it immediately gets outlawed, but these underground criminal networks start using it to send people that they want disposed of back through time to 2044 to be killed, and for the looper to take and get rid of their body, because apparently for some reason in 2074 it is impossible to hide a body. And I'm not exactly sure, but I don't think they really go into that too much, but I like that because it kind of lets you think of, look at the GPS and stuff now. What kind of level would we get to by, 2074, stuff like that, to where you can't even hide a body at all, so that's a cool premise that they leave untouched, but that's there. So what happens is they send the people back, the looper disposes of them, but the criminals, to completely cover their path, they eventually end the contract of that looper. And when that happens, the looper's future self from 2074 is sent back to 2044, about 30 years before, and their younger self has to kill them off. And that's really, the setup for, the logic behind the movie Looper. Now, there are things that happen, of course. One of Joe's friends is set to dispose of his older self, and he lets him go, and that causes all sorts of problems. It kind of spirals out of control from there. And, Joe's older self is, of course, played by Bruce Willis. And, it's really awesome, I think, how things turn out to be in this. I really don't want to tell you too much more because, I don't like spoiling anything for stories. But, guys, it's really cool because it's deeper than, you could probably guess he eventually has to dispose of himself. I don't think that's really giving anything away. But it's deeper than his older self just getting away, from him before he can kill him off. It's a lot deeper than that, and I love the premise of how they did it, because both the young Joe and older Joe, their agendas both make sense, and it's really cool to see. I really liked it a lot. The thing that I think is really good about this too is, it has a lot of sci-fi elements, but none of it is overbearing. Like, they have, one element is in the year 2044, 10% of the population has sort of gained a mutation called TK, which is telekinetic, where they can levitate items and stuff. And their motorcycles don't have any wheels at all. It's basically just a souped up engine under their legs that hovers. You see cars with like solar panels over the hoods, to run the cars, obviously. So there are, of course, sci-fi elements there, and there's more to it than just that, too. But it isn't overbearing, and plus, a lot of this story takes place on a farm, too. And I think that also helps the movie be rooted in more of a real sense, and also gives it an element to where maybe people who don't necessarily like time travel or sci-fi films could potentially get into this. It has a lot of great action. It's basically done like an old school good action flick. Nothing too over the top or crazy. And despite the story, I know that may sound, it may not sound very good. It may sound crazy, like a little bit too much to take in. But guys, the way they do it is it's genius actually, because it's a complicated premise in a way that they make. The way they lay it out, it makes it simplistic and easy to understand. And I think that that's why this movie became such a hit, because you know, you don't have to sit there and really, really think about it, you know, and it's a kind of a unique take on time travel. And, you know, I couldn't help but the whole time I watched this film, one that came to mind is Terminator. There are a lot of similarities between the original Terminator and this film. But that's not to say that this is a knockoff by any means. There's definitely inspiration from Terminator, but I think Looper stands on its own. It has its own legs, and you know, I could see this being considered a sci-fi classic over time, because, you know, I've only just now watched it the one time and loved it, but I just can see repeat viewings of this movie making it a lot sweeter. I just think that the dynamic between the older and younger Joe is really good. And I think it's something that would, you know, further, you know, present itself to you with repeated viewings. But elsewhere in the cast, you know, you have Emily Blunt that plays the mother of this little boy that they are seeking out. I'm not going to exactly tell you any more than that. It's best left unsaid. But she does good as a protective mother, very protective mother to a hilt. You know, she will protect her son by any means. She does really good. And speaking of the kid, his name is Sid in the movie, played by Pearson Gagnon, and I'm not sure of his age. I'm looking him up here on IMDb, but it does not have an age, but he is very young. He is like 5 years old or so. This kid did really, really good. I mean, and he did so good, it's almost to the point where it's creepy, because he is using like adult emotions and he's only like 5 years old. Like, there's some scenes, you know, where he's talking to Joseph Gordon-Levitt and you're like, damn, man, that kid does not come off as being that young. He's got way more mentality bigger than his body lets on, you know. You'll see, but the kid does great. He's really, really good. And then you also have Noah Segan that plays Blue Kid. He is one of the bad guys, I guess you could say, of the film. I liked his character a lot, and I also liked Joe's friend named Seth, which is played by Paul Dano. He's not in the film a whole lot, but he had some effective scenes in it that I liked and thought he did really good. But guys, this, you know, this is just a great film. I'm going to give Looper an 8 out of 10. It's really, really good. And the Blu-ray quality on this is fantastic. I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. It's loaded with special features, none of which I got to check out yet. I'll show them to you. If you want to check those out, just hit the pause button if you want. I don't know how clear that's going to be. But it has a really nice slipcover to it. Best Buy has this on sale for $19.99 right now. It comes with the ultraviolet code. But yeah, guys, I highly recommend Looper. And, you know, it's coming up, end of the year is over now. It's 2013. It's coming up time where I'm going to be doing a top 10 list. I'm going to just do one list, not a horror and overall film. Just going to be one solid list. And all I can say is I'm really glad I got to see this, because this will certainly be in my top 10 for the year. So yeah, I mean, that comes with a very high recommendation. So yeah, guys, as I said, it will not be all Hitchcock reviews this month also. I told you, if I see something new, I'll go ahead and review it and throw it up too. So yeah, guys, I'll quit rambling. But yeah, check out Looper, guys. It's out there now. Thanks for watching. Later.